Chasing your dreams can be rewarding, Preneurs, but starting a business could be a balance to helping you get to your dreams and your financial goals as well. But the real question is, how do you get there? How do you start? Let's get right into it. Welcome back, Preneurs. I'm excited about this topic about starting a business because if I'm not mistaken, everything in the world that we purchase is from a business. All right, so let's talk about how to start yours. I think the number one thing that you need to think about for yourself in this topic is what type of problem are you solving and what product can you offer to your consumer? Okay, so after you figure out what the product that you're going to be providing, then therefore now we can figure out how to provide it. So for example, let's say that you want to offer marketing services. Well, how are you going to provide that to your client? Are you going to be doing a door-to-door sales? Are you going to be doing some type of online services? Like, what is the how to make sure that you're able to do that effectively? And once you figure the how, now we can figure out why we are actually specifically doing this. Because without the why, it's not going to have any urgency to be able to do it effectively. And once you know why you're doing something, really the what and any distraction will never stop you in doing it anyways. So once you know how you want to do it, and then why you're doing, what's the true passion behind it, it's going to have your urgency moving up to a certain type of fire that will never ever have you stopping at any time. Then from there we can move to the next phase, which is what type of business structure is the best for you and your business. And it's kind of talk about some different ones for yourself. Maybe it's a LLC. You've already heard of that. Must be one of the most popular ones. What is an LLC? It's a limited liability company. Okay. Maybe you want to step into maybe an S-Corp. Okay, maybe you want to have a CCorp. Maybe you want to position yourself as an LLP. Maybe you want to do direct sales. Maybe you want to do network marketing. Maybe you want to be 1099. Maybe you want to be a DBA. These are all different business structures that you can actually step into. But the real question is, which one is best for you and what you're actually providing for your client that's connected to your why, that's connected to your team that you have as well, as connected most importantly to the vision. So let's kind of break some of these down for yourself so we are very clear on the different types of business structures that are out so that you can make the most informed decision for you as you are stepping into your new business. The first one you probably want to look at is an LLC. So do your research on an LLC, of course, but by definition, it's very simple. It's just a limited liability company. It's a business structure that's allowed by state statute. Okay, so maybe an LLC might benefit you. Maybe you might look at an LLP. Okay, what's an LLP? It's a limited liability partnership, right? You probably hear a lot of law firms step into the LLP type of structures, right? So with the whole purpose of it by definition is to allow a partnership structure where each partner's liabilities are limited to the amount they put into the business, okay? Maybe you want to look at an S-Corp, which, some people might call that a pass-through. So you have a business, right? But you don't want your business to be taxed. You want it to pass through to you on your own personal tax returns, right? So that's called an S-Corp, right? So as an S-Corp, by definition, is also known as a subchapter, refers to a type of corporation that meets specific internal revenue code requirements. Maybe an S-Corp might benefit you in your business. Maybe you want to look at a C-Corp, right? And some people might say, well, I'd rather have my business tax and make myself an employee of my business. So then therefore I'm now going to be taxed as an employee, but I'm also going to have my business tax. It's a double tax, but that might benefit you based on how your structure is and what you're offering and what you're doing with your company. And by definition as a C-Corp, what is it? It's a legal structure for a corporation in which the owners or shareholders are taxed separately from what? The entity. Maybe you want to look at a sole prop. What's a sole prop? It means you are literally starting your own personal business, but it's all on who? You, right? So there's really no corporate veil. There's no protection over you. It's all under you, right? So as a sole prop or a sole proprietorship, also referred to as a sole trader or a proprietorship, as I just mentioned, is an unincorporated business that has just one owner who pays what? Personal income tax on profits earned from their business. Now, if you're setting that up, you just got to understand, again, there is no protection over you at all. So if someone wants to attack you based on your assets, it's all attacked on your own personal assets because you have no corporate veil that protects you. But sole prop might be, it makes sense when you're starting off. Another one is there's a simple partnership, right? And there's a lot of partnerships. There's several types of partnerships. I'll give you a couple of them right here. And when you start talking about the several types of partnerships and an arrangement, in particular in a partnership business, all partners share liabilities and profits equally, right? So it's not one that holds it more than the other. Everyone has a shared pool, right? And while other partners maybe have limited liability, there is also so-called silent partners as well, in which one party is not involved in day-to-day operations of the business. So you might have those that are active, okay, that are on day-to-day operations, making sure the business is growing. Then you also have silent partners that are just usually funding. They might speak here and there, they might come to board meetings here and there, but they're not there on the day-to-day activity. They don't know what's going on every quarter or anything along those lines. They just come and see what's going on the reports anytime that is necessary. Now understanding business structures and which one might be best for you, now it's about what is your next steps. Here's 3 things I want you to be thinking about. The first thing is, okay, maybe you want to be a LLC, LLP, maybe a S-Corp, C-Corp, whatever that is. You got to start the paperwork for that. So go and acquire the paperwork. The easy part about it is you have a CPA, a tax advisor, and some of these things are easily accessible on Google, right? And so you can be able to get direction on how to acquire the paperwork so you can apply for the business structure that you think is best for you and your business, okay? So from there, what will happen is you open up your own EIN, all right? You'll start your bank account so it's funded properly, okay, as well. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is actually developing a true marketing plan, okay? So how are you gonna reach out to your consumer? How are you gonna reach out to a specific demographic? Who is that? Who is necessarily that avatar that you actually want your product to be able to serve? Okay, what does that look like? Is it a certain ethnicity? Do they live in a certain community? Do they live in a certain state or region? Do they have certain habits? You need to start thinking about that so that your marketing campaign can fully, effectively reach that type of person, that type of avatar that you want to reach effectively, okay? And within that marketing plan, be able to actually know how you're going to raise your funds. So how's your funds? Is it going to come from your own pocket? You're going to start that off? Or maybe you have an angel investor? Or are you going to have fundraisers? Do you have someone else that wants to collaborate with you? Are you going to go get a loan? Like, what are you going to do to raise funds for your marketing campaign so you can start reaching your clientele effectively? What is that system behind that? You got to start thinking about that now. And that brings me to the third point I was just talking about with you. And that is, what are you going to be doing to start actually selling your product? Okay? So what exactly does your sales look like? Like, how are you going to communicate that effectively? What's your system? What is your sales system or your funnel to not just reach the client, but to actually close the client effectively so you can make sure that's a win-win situation, not just for your business, but for that client. So they're a happy customer, because as a happy customer happens, what happens is they start referring more. And that's what you want. You want more referrals to come cycle into your business because you have a funnel coming through. Well, Preneurs, that will conclude this video. And at the end of the day, starting a business can be a long and tedious process. Can actually make you lose some hair as well, but it's all good, don't worry. You know, we always say, whatever you think it is, how hard it is usually 10 times worse. But however great you think it's gonna be while you even started the business, it's gonna be 10 times even greater than that. It's gonna be rewarding for you, not just emotionally, financially, lifestyle-wise, impact-wise, and I'm excited for you to start your business and hear more about it as well. So with that, go and tag another entrepreneur that wants to start their business. Go and tag another leader that wants to go and make sure that their dreams are also going to become a reality. And go and like and share and comment on the social medias, or also just click that notification button if you haven't already, so that you can get all the updates or all the new videos are coming out. And we'll see you guys in the next one.